What's up, guys? This is Kim from Astrano. We're in beautiful Sicily with the bamboo, trees, grass. Pretty cool. So I just want to share the 6 tips on how you can connect with your masculine energy, how to heal it, and how to really bring it in yourself so that you can bring it out to the world. The last video we talked a little bit, or a podcast, we talked a little bit about the unhealthy traits of a masculine energy. Some of them are lack of purpose, domineering tendencies, and your ego status, well, stuff like that, right? So the first step that I have is to create a healthy relationship with your masculine is creating a structure in your life that you know, you can use to better yourself. So for me, what I like to do is in the beginning of the day, I like to look at my calendar. I would look, it could be from 8 to 9, 7 to 8, and I would just use that time to focus on myself. And I would use it to focus on 3 things: my mind, my mental, physical, and spiritual. So what it could look like is you could do journaling, you could read a book for 20 minutes. The next 20 minutes it would be a workout. The next 20 minutes is meditation. Right? Very simple, very easy to use, and that's one thing that I highly recommend. And the second one is creating a safe space and boundaries. So for masculine energy, it's all about really holding the space, being aware of the space. And this is something that, as men and or as women as well, we can cultivate to help our inner feminine to come out, right? Creating that safe space to just be. Really, you can dance, you can laugh, you can express your sorrow, whatever it may be. But to have that space for you to express all of that is one of the key to healing all sides, masculine and feminine. And also the boundary aspect, where knowing you know where your space is, right? Holding your space, knowing when to say no to yourself and to other people, right? So they go hand in hand, the structure and then the boundary. The third one is speaking your truth. So really, sometimes guys have this problem, and even again women, really just the masculine essence, we tend to hold the truth because we fear the consequences of it. We might upset someone, we might fear that we will lose someone's love or respect when we speak our truth, right? But really, that's not really the case. When you speak your truth, it could be an invitation for someone to see the different perspectives that are in play, which actually helps build a better relationship from the space that you are in. So speaking your truth, very important. Practice that by honoring yourself, honoring your needs, honoring your desire, and speaking to yourself with integrity. And also another aspect is this is a side note challenge, if you want, is you can look back in your conversations and acknowledge that, hey, I have not been truthful in those words that I said. And then you can go back to that person and say, hey, you know what, can I restore my integrity with you? I said this, but I didn't do it. How can I make it up? How can I restore that integrity? And that actually builds a healthier relationship with the person that you're doing it with, and especially to yourself. The fourth one is father wound healing. So here's the thing, right? We've experienced so much trauma as the masculine, so much with the feminine as well. Everybody has trauma, and for healing the masculine, it starts with the masculine figure in the house. And this is kind of an interesting topic for me because where I come from, my mom was the masculine, so it was kind of like a interesting situation to heal, because it's like, okay, I gotta heal this energy but with a different body. It was kind of like interesting, but anyway, it really starts with honoring the experience that your parents had, your grandparents, your dad, your great grandparents, and acknowledging the suffering, the traumas that they had to go through, that they just passed on to you. Because there is no manual in life. There is no manual that says this is how to be a good organic father. There is none of that's non-existent yet. Maybe we'll make that someday, but there is no instructions to that. So when you come into this world, you become a father, you're just kind of like, here's the son, go with it, right? And so obviously you will experience some traumas with that. And so the biggest key in healing the masculine energy is to sitting with yourself, acknowledging those wounds one at a time, right? So what that could look like is you could sit in a meditation, think of an experience that you've had with a masculine figure where you were hurt and you were that caused some sort of pain and trauma, and then look at that experience, look at it at a bird's eye view, and just acknowledging all the parties involved, and acknowledging the environment that you guys were in, acknowledging yourself, the needs that weren't met, acknowledging the projection that the masculine figure was throwing onto you. And when you can understand the situation at whole, then you can build compassion for yourself and everyone involved in that situation, and that can start the healing process. And then you do that, you do it again, rinse and repeat. All right, so tip number 5 is connecting with Christ, or a masculine figure that you have. So sometimes, you grow up, you don't really have a healthy masculine figure. So what do? You look at, gratefully, I'm grateful now that, thankfully now that there's something called YouTube, internet, right? You can go online, look at the people that you look up to that are, in alignment with who you want to be, and then look at what they do. Try to emulate them. And when you're in a situation that needs that masculine energy, try to bring their energy and try to bring their frequency, and ask yourself, what would this person do in this situation? How would this person respond in this situation? And then you channel it within. You do what you think they would do, and that's something that is really powerful, especially when you're lost in a situation. You feel like you don't know where you're going, you don't know what to do. Calm yourself, be grounded for a couple seconds, and just, what would this person do? And the first thing that comes to mind, do it. Take action right away, and that'll do. Tip number 6 is finding or creating your tribe. So for the masculine energy, this is something that I've experienced many times, especially with sports and being just around guy friends. When you're in alignment with one single purpose, you create this feeling of like, I can do anything, right? Like, you bring that fierceness, the warrior in you, and then you can channel that into whatever you're doing, into your relationship, into your business, into your work, whatever it may be. You channel, you bring the group together, you create this energy, and then you channel the energy into whatever you're doing. Especially with, feminine as well, masculine, feminine, it works both ways. But that's one of the biggest thing to reconnect with your masculine, is finding a tribe, a healthy masculine tribe, where you can have the space to grow and to be challenged, because the masculine grows with challenge, right? So you got to find other men to compete with in a healthy way, in a healthy manner, right? Alright guys, so that's the 6 tips. Again, here's a quick recap. The first one is creating a healthy habit, creating a healthy structure in your life. The second one is to creating a space, holding your boundaries, learning how to say no. The third one is speaking your truth, not being afraid of letting what your heart is trying to say. The fourth one is healing your father wounds, your grandfather wounds, your generational wound, right? The fifth one is connecting to source, or to Christ, or to a healthy masculine figure. So when you're in a situation where you don't know what to do, you channel that in, you bring that frequency in, the energy in, and then you do the first thing that comes to mind. And the last one, as I was mentioning earlier, is to finding or creating a tribe where you can have a space to succeed, to grow, and be challenged. So those are the 6 tips for creating a healthy relationship with your inner masculine energy. And check it out, try it out, let us know how it works for you in the comments. Send us a DM, email, whatever it may be. Like and subscribe.